Good morning and welcome to AGORACOM Small Cap Stock News. It's Thursday, April the 10th, 2014. I'm your host, Alan Barry Laboucan, and I'm also the Chief Market Commentator for AGORACOM. What I do every day is go through a bunch of press releases, find the best ones that stand out to me, give you some insights into what I see in the news and in their stock charts. We usually try to keep the show to about a 10-minute time frame. I might run over a little bit today because there's a ton of news out there that I want to talk about, and I'll get right to it. The first companies that I wanted to talk about are two of AGORACOM sponsors. One of them is Enertopia Corporation. Their stock symbol is TOP on the CSE. And Lexaria, their symbol is LXX, also on the Canadian Stock Exchange. They've agreed to terms to upgrade a 30,000 square foot facility that can be increased to 75,000 square feet. This will be where they're looking to house their medical marijuana growing, and it's got lots of expansion potential. You want to check out those news releases again. TOP on the CSE, LXX on the CSE. Enertopia is TOP, Lexaria is LXX. The next company I wanted to talk about today is, just got to pull it up here, Osisko Mining had an offer by Gold Corp. That was subsequently a better bid came in from Yamana. At the time that the Yamana bid came in, my reaction was that I thought it was a better deal for Osisko than the Gold Corp deal, primarily because I thought that it gave the shareholders of Osisko a much better exposure to their production from the Malartic deposit and mine than the Gold Corp deal did. There would be a share swap. Shareholders of Osisko would get cash, shares in Yamana, and Yamana would only own about 50% of Osisko. Now Gold Corp, and at that time I also mentioned that I thought that Gold Corp would come in with a higher offer, which they did today. It's a combination of cash and 0.17 of a share in Gold Corp for every share that a shareholder owns in Osisko. I think that the overall bid values the company at 3.6 billion. I have to think that when Yamana made the offer, they had to think that there was a good chance that Gold Corp would come in with a higher offer, and you would think that Yamana had anticipated that, and I think there's a good chance that Yamana now comes in with a higher offer. I think that this deal means a lot more to Yamana than it does to Gold Corp, and ultimately I think that by doing a deal with Yamana, the Osisko shareholders would get better exposure to their Malartic mine. So there's a lot playing out with Osisko these days. Osisko's stock symbol is OSK. Oh, I'm going to look at the stock. Sorry, the stock is at 761. Today, that's up 6 cents on 50 million shares traded hands. Wow, that's some whopping action there. Maybe it looks like the market doesn't think that there's another bid coming. The stock is doing pretty good. It's a great looking stock chart, but it's hard to make a prediction of where that's going because there's a takeover battle coming. I think Yamana's going to try and top this one. OSK again is their stock symbol. They trade on Toronto. Next up is Golden Star. Golden Star announced that they've produced, or they sold 65,811 ounces of gold have an average realized price of $1,292 per ounce from their Wassa and Bogoso projects. Those are in Ghana. They also talked about having approximately 58 million after drawing down 10 million from their term loan during the quarter. They have more room on that as well. They're looking to produce between 295,000 to 320,000 ounces at an average cash cost of $950 to $1,000 per ounce. Now that's a pretty high cash cost. Their all-in cost will be considerably higher and probably getting pretty close to that price that they were selling their gold at. So what's probably happened is that's why they've had to draw down some of their loan. Big production without making a lot of money is one thing. Now, these are the kind of companies you want to follow closely, because if gold starts getting back up to $1,400-$1,500 an ounce, then these guys start making a lot of money. So their stock is up 2 cents today to 78 cents on only 12,000 shares traded hands. Just looking at the stock chart, it had a nice move from the December lows from around 40 cents, let's say, got up to 96 cents, gave back some of those gains, and then after giving back some of those gains, it looked to bottom out and then get a little bit stronger. I'm not convinced that this is the rally yet. I think they've got to test that recent low again, or at least see if they can stay slightly above it before it makes its next big move up. GSC is their stock symbol. They trade on Toronto. Next up is Painted Pony Petroleum. Painted Petroleum, say that 3 times real fast. Painted Pony Petroleum provided their latest estimates, and they expect to have increased their 2014 estimate to 13,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. That's a 17% increase over the second quarter 2014. So it looks like they're firing on all cylinders, and the market really liked this news today. Stock's up 88 cents or 9.2% today to $10.43 on 1.2 million shares traded hands. I picked this one down when it was trading at about $6.75, so it's been a really good pick. Now it's had a big spike today. I would expect that over the next couple of days it'll give back some of those gains, but I really like the trend in this stock. I don't think I can talk about it on the best of the best in weekly stock picks simply because I'm not a chaser, but this is one I like on any kind of weakness. PPY is their stock symbol. They trade on Toronto. Next up is McEwen Mining. McEwen Mining announced their latest quarterly report for the first quarter of 2014. They had total production of 32,000 gold equivalent ounces that comprised 20,000 ounces of gold and 725,000 ounces of silver. Excuse me, that's a 14% increase compared to the first quarter of 2013. Their full year guidance is 135 to 140,000 gold equivalent ounces. So they're hitting on all their cylinders there. The stock today is flat. It's $2.78 on 118,000 shares traded hands. Just pulling up the chart here, and this one had a big move from the December lows at about $1.80 all the way up to $4.13. It's given back some of those gains, about maybe 50% or so, give or take. It did drop below a previous sort of resistance level. You always want to see if those can be the new support level. but they didn't break a lot below that, and it does look like they've been finding support lately. This is one that I will definitely be looking to talk about on the best of the best and weekly stock picks tomorrow. NUX is their stock symbol. They trade on Toronto. Next up is NGEx Resources. NGEx Resources had news out that they drilled, what was it? They had some really nice drill holes from their project down in Argentina. They had drilled 5.8% copper over 22 meters at Filo del Sol project, which is in the San Juan province of Argentina. This is a very well-known area for mining, and they got some really good news there on one of the holes. I mean, if you look at all of the news, they've got a lot of really good drill holes in there, and you want to take a look at those results. The market really liked it. Today they're up 19 cents, which is an 11.5% move to $1.84 on 66,000 shares traded hands. The stock has been kind of going sideways for the last, I want to say about 2.5, 3 months. 3 months, yeah. But this is a pretty big breakout here. I'm going to watch for what happens tomorrow. But I really like those results. I think that's quite impressive results. And this is one I want to try to find a right time to feature it on the best of the best of weekly news show. So it's under consideration for tomorrow's show. NGQ is their stock symbol. They trade on Toronto. Once again, that's NGQ. Next up is Great Panther Silver. Great Panther Silver had their Q1 2014 numbers out, and they processed 4% more ore. They produced 10% more silver, 667,000 silver equivalent ounces. That came mostly from the gold, or the silver was consistent at 370,000 silver ounces. Gold production rose 17% to 3,600 ounces. So some good numbers there. There's lots of details in the press release. Just pulling up the chart now, and the stock is up 4 cents today to $1.22 on 25,000 shares traded hands. The stock chart, they've had a great move from the December lows. They were trading around 72 cents. They moved all the way up to $1.51, have given back some of those gains, have retained a fair amount of those gains. They've been going sideways, and I think that the next move is to the upside. I definitely will be looking at this one to talk about it on the best of the best and weekly news show. And the final company today, this one also had some really big news. Stornoway Diamond Corp has entered into a binding finance commitment agreement to raise in the neighborhood of $944 million in order to fund the construction of their Reynard Kimberlites project, the Reynard Diamond project, bring it into production, which would be Quebec's first diamond mine. I've been saying for several years that this project would be Quebec's first diamond mine, and now it looks like it's going to be reality. Stornoway, they've got a bunch of details. It's kind of a complex deal. You want to look over their press release to really understand what's going on with the deal, but it is a very significant deal for the company, for the diamond industry in Canada, and for the nascent diamond production industry in Quebec. And there, by the way, there was a significant investment by the Quebec government as part of this $944 million funding. So bottom line is, Quebec continues to be the most entrepreneurial and aggressive place in the world to look for mining, explore for discoveries, and also for mining. Stornoway stock reacted quite nicely. It's up 8 cents today to $1.05. That's an 8.2% move. It's traded quite aggressively. 1.7 million shares traded hands today, which is a very big day for the company. Stock's been on a wonderful move since the August lows when it was trading at around 50 cents a share. Got all the way up to $1.22, and I think it's got a chance to break through that now that they've got this funding looked after. Stornoway Diamonds stock symbol is SWY, and they trade on the Toronto Exchange. So that's a wrap on all the news today. I sure had a big show, lots of big news. Between takeover battles, you got a big funding for a diamond project, great results on oil, great results on a copper play down in Argentina. Just a lot of really good news today. And join us Monday through Thursday for the daily news show that I talk about companies and what news they put out, and then also for our best of the best and weekly stock picks, where I go through all those daily news shows from the week and pick the best stocks that I like, a combination of their news and their stock performance. You can join us on agoracom.com for the shows. You can find our stuff also on blog.agoracom.com or on my website at allenberryreports.com. On that note, you have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.